first St. Cyril Cancer Treatment Foundation and all cancer specialist hospital. And I am so excited to have with me the delectable Mrs. Oluwatoyin. I remember she's a very good friend of the house. She's been very supportive.
Glad to be here.
We've gone as far back as 3 years. And I remember that one of my first partnership that I had when I was a volunteer was with you, ma'am, when we had the Big Bold and Beautiful events. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Glad to be here.
Thank you so much.
Glad to be
So I have a couple of questions, and I would start with this. I know that everybody in the room knows you very well, ma'am. So my first question is, for those meeting you for the first time, can you please tell us what is Mrs. Oluwatoyin Adewumi? Beyond the title, beyond being a breast cancer survivor, beyond being a mother, who is Mrs. Oluwatoyin?
I want to think of myself as somebody who loves life. You know, like you said, beyond the title, beyond the accomplishments, beyond the accolades and whatnot. You know, when it all boils down to it, when you strip yourself of all of that, and you still stand and be comfortable in your skin.
Yes.
And I want to say that, you know, I love me. I'm grateful to God for what He has made me to be, who He has called me to be. And I look forward to each day being grateful, being thankful. In all situations, you know, the Bible says we should give thanks. So for me now, you know, who's a God for you? I'm somebody who practices gratitude at all points. I'm somebody who consciously tries not to take people for granted because you never know. You never know. That person that you think, what do they have to offer, might be the solution to your $1 billion problem. You may not even know. I mean, you know, you look at the story of Naaman. It was his housemaid that offered him a solution. It was not even from the king's palace. It was none of that. It was his housemaid. So for me, you know, I live by two things right now: consciously practicing gratitude and not taking people for granted. So that's me in a nutshell. Yeah.
I really agree with that. I believe gratitude is a way to life, because no matter how much effort you put into what you're doing, things will not go as planned. But gratitude helps shift your perspective.
Yes.
It helps you see reasons, to see God in action, even in the
yeah.
things that you do not know about. So I thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Okay, I know that we've worked with Tambo Foundation and Tambo BB until the time. Yes. So over the years, we've carried out impactful projects. Could you please highlight one or two initiatives that you're particularly proud of, and how would you measure the impact of these initiatives?
So, you know, the name Tambo is actually a concatenation of my children's name.
Oh wow.
Tamilore and Bulwatife.
Oh.
Yeah, so people don't know. They're like, oh, what's Tambo? And I'm like, they're my children's names. So I am particularly grateful to God to be able to at least leave them with a legacy, and most importantly, a good name. So when we're having lunch or we have an opportunity to talk together, I tell them, look, I may not give you silver, I may not give you gold, I may not leave you with a trust fund, but I'll make sure I leave you with a good name and a good legacy. And so the foundation is an opportunity, not even just for them, but also to give back. And over the years, you know, 7 years and counting, we've been taking baby steps because it's a family foundation. So think of, you know, our goal is that one day we'll join the ranks of the Bill and Melinda Gates, but we'll work our way towards that. But from education and awareness to even patient navigation support, and then creating flagship programs so we can partner with the likes of St. Cyril or let's Cancer Center or UCH. All of them for me have given me, they've given me butterflies, because at the end of the day, it's an opportunity to put a smile on people's faces. So I remember the very first major project was actually with Cyril. I believe it was a sort of a training program that was being done to help with mental health.
Yes, was a psychology
Exactly,
workshop.
a psychology workshop.
Psychology
And you know
workshop.
why that really matters to me? Oftentimes, when people think of cancer, and I've said it again and again, if someone receives the news of a cancer diagnosis, I don't think a medical oncologist is the first person they should see. They should go see a psycho-oncologist.
Yes.
Because the trauma, the ability to process the trauma that you have been
The
diagnosed
acceptance
with,
of the
and the
reality.
thank you.
The acceptance of the reality.
I have a loved one right now in the US. She's like a mother to me, and I can tell that she is finding it hard to come to terms with that cancer story, because as far as she's concerned, she did everything right. I'm looking at her face value. She did everything right. She doesn't eat junk food. She exercises. She lives an active lifestyle. She prays. Think of any herb and antioxidant. She has it in her stash. Think of all the greens in the world. She eats all of them. And then she was presented with the late stage gynecological cancer, late stage. So, I strongly believe that psycho-oncology should be one of the things that should be elevated, and should even be the first point of call for any cancer patient. Before you start a treatment plan, before you start to say, okay, or while we're staging, while we're scanning, while we're checking for spread, somebody to say, hello,
I think it happens
it's cancer.
in HIV detection. Once you get a diagnosis, you have
They
to
get
go
cancer.
for
Yes.
counseling first.
Oh, people need to.
Even before you told what's going on. I think we should make that a
Oh, yes.
oncology as well.
Oh yes, like I will be the first to get up like a trumpet to say please.
Yes.
But then again, I was looking at the Guardian newspaper, and then in all of Nigeria, there's like 9 psychiatric hospitals for 220 million people. So I'm thinking, okay. So how do we even come down to like cancer and like have psycho-oncologists? So, and that doesn't mean we should just fold our hands and raise our hands in the air and say, oh, woe is we, what can we do? But seriously, that was one project that for me is near and dear to my heart. Another one is of course the beautiful bonus program. It reminds me of when I was having my active treatment in the US 8 years ago, and they had one of the social workers had come with a flyer that there was going to be a workshop being hosted by local Feel Better. And I said, oh, why not it not? And I went there, there were these other women there, I was the only black woman there. But they saw me, they made sure that they had a beauty kit that would match my skin tone. So
That's great.
I had this big beauty bag, and they taught us, it was, so now I have hair. There was no hair, I was bald. Like eyebrows were bald, everything was bald. So they taught me how to brow, they taught me how to apply foundation, how to cover all the rosacea. And when I was done, there was a spark.
Yes.
Something shifted. And I'm like, it's so nice to do that.
You look good, you feel good.
Yes.
You look good.
This is so nice to do. And to date, we have reached over 1,000 women.
We've been a beneficiary of
Yeah,
that.
we've given over 1,000 beauty kits. So, and I'm just grateful to God for the opportunity to do that, and I hope that the women who receive it too, that they, when they wake up in the morning, they can look in the mirror and say to themselves, you're beautiful. I had the opportunity to speak to you. One of the founders of, she's a professor and of sort of a social enterprise in the University of Florida. And she was asking, she's like, what's the beauty kit? And then after I explained it to her, she's like, oh, you're helping them move, you're helping their mental health, you're giving them a reason, to even live. Like, yes, I can wake up and make myself up and walk, go about my daily activities. So that is near and dear to my heart. So you can see the some of the tapestry of like mental health, psychosocial services, because at the end of the day, the the battle for cancer starts from the mind. I had a recurrence in March that spread to my liver, my skull, my spine, and my thoracic area.
March of this year.
Yes. I had the tumor sitting on my superior vena cava. And I said to myself, listen, you're not going to, you didn't dictate how I lived 8 years ago. So you're not going to dictate how I live right now. And so it was like, I just celebrated my birthday in October 5, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I was like, we are going full steam with impact. Like, we are going full throttle, 440 kilometers per hour. No. Yes, like cancer, no, you are not going to. And so, that war in the mind must be won by anyone because the treatments can remove some of the body.
Yes, it can be.
Let's be honest. I'm being honest here.
I think when people think about treatments, they feel like if I start chemotherapy, I'm just going to be a shadow of myself. Sometimes it might happen, but if you can teach them that okay, you need the treatment, but you can still find a way to manage the side effects, and that's where people like to go really comes in handy. You don't have to, should I say, give in so much, because sometimes the financial load, the burden, trying to navigate your treatment center, but a bit of a makeup, a pancake, a lip gloss, you put on a wig, and you look like, oh wow, this is
I had the baddest wig.
And just that, just change your mood from like a 0 to 1,000.
Definitely. So yeah, it can be very, very hard. So yes, patient support services that target mental health and the mind, I think is crucial. So that's where the Bold Beautiful Strong program comes in. We are kickstarting. We just kickstarted a nutrition assistance support program.
It's very crucial right now in Nigeria, the rising cost of food. Thank you so much for
Yeah, I remember having a conversation with the CEO of Miss Fuji International, and she said to me, people are hungry.
Yes, people are.
She said it to me like a year and a half. She said, people are hungry. And so, I've been racking my brain since then. Like, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? And God in His wisdom and infinite mercies provided a way for us to do it. So now we have 2 programs now that are at least running concurrently, effectively, with staff and volunteers who are ready and willing to work with us. So for that, I'm very grateful. So I'm thankful that our operations in Nigeria can continue.
That leads me to my next question. I know you stay in the United States.
Yes.
So how did you run effectively from the United States, say that the impact is here in Nigeria?
Yes. So thank God for the gift of man.
Yes.
A preacher once said, before God gives you money, He gives you people first. And so over the years, I have been fortunate to build my network. And one of my networks is actually helping to run the nutrition assistance program that this is what we attended high school together, we kept in touch, we're in the same fitness group. She's in the business, and I'm just like, wait a minute, collaborate. Why not partner with her? And she's taking it as her own project, and for that I'm very grateful. Okay, I love you. Thank you so much. My relationship with Mrs. Salima Shaw, I like to call her Auntie Mona. She's like an auntie to me. I met her in Boston at a conference. And it was at that conference, the convener of the conference said something that struck with me and continues to stay with me, particularly if I believe that I want to have impact. He said, look to your neighbor, to your left, and to your right, and say collaboration, not competition. That was our professor. Yeah, not competition. Because we cannot be siloed to effectively reduce the cancer burden in Nigeria. We can't all be in our own little corners. Oh, you are doing this, you're doing like, we have to pull resources together. Solidarity. I mean, we're already resource constrained as a country, even as foundation. So, if you can come with logistics, I can come with funding, you can come with this. Exactly. Let's pull it together, let's synergize. And you'll be surprised at what will come out of it.
And the impact will be more sustainable.
More sustainable.
Because we have so many projects, but sustainability is a very challenge. It's a very big challenge. Mm-hmm. It's a very big challenge.
So, I met her, she had presented at the conference, and I love what I heard, I liked what I saw, I loved her spirit, her countenance. And so the relationship started from there. And thanks to her, the relationship with NSIAU, it was through her. So
it's very key of collaboration.
Collaboration, not competition. So that's how it works. Again, I've been blessed to have volunteers and people. So the BBS, Project BBS, shout out to you, and they've been great. She also is somebody who is a giver. She is very, very philanthropic in her thinking. She's a servant leader, and I asked her if this was something she wanted to do, and she brought with it. And so, once you have people, which is a good chunk of your structure, and you sell the vision to them, you want to sell the vision, and that's what I've been doing, selling the vision. This is what I'm trying to do. How can you help me? And so they take it as they go. They help. They come with feedback. So you help it this way. Let's do it this way. What do you think?
And that's what I just being a silent
Yes. So that's how it's worked. By God's grace, I'll definitely be coming to Nigeria more often than not because we're trying to strengthen the operations here. And one of the things that 2026 has as well, based on what I've seen from just programs that we've done this past week, is that like Jesus said, the harvest is plenty. In terms of education and awareness, I can't even begin to explain the need. It's all we want.
Experience. But I know that you had a green vision.
Yes.
We had some job.
Yes.
So what is it doing in terms of awareness in such a low and middle community? Language barrier. There's a lot of stereotype. There's a need for mindset shift in those areas.
Definitely.
What did you say your plan would be in terms of creating intervention in this community?
Definitely. So, I love that question. Looking at Nigeria's population, already we have a good percentage of youth. Not everybody lives in Lagos. So what happens to those who don't live in Lagos?
Out of which community?
We call them underserved in the US. In the whole Ile-Ife, let's just say the division. Ile-Ife has a teaching hospital.
Yes.
Ile-Ife doesn't have radiotherapy.
No. There's not really
Yes. So if Ile-Ife doesn't have radiotherapy, then there is no radiotherapy services for Ikire, Oshobo, Oshu, Ijebu-Osha. That whole axis. I don't know how they're getting chemo. So if people don't come to Lagos, how many people can, Lagos?
And then the commute hour.
Exactly.
To Lagos.
To Lagos.
Or to UCH.
UCH. Even UCH doesn't have a functional radiotherapy. So, I saw some of those, and to be honest with you, it left me, I was like, but here's the thing. If we can get, which is one thing that the foundation intends to do, I'm grateful to have my mom on board, and she did a lot of community health work. She was a public health nurse and a community health officer, and she actually retired from Ibadan South Hospital and Apple additional access. So she sees cases of people who are not necessarily educated, underserved, and when it comes to the maternal mother-infant medicine, they've been able to crack the code to have certified birth attendants in the community to help. So if it's looking complicated, they will refer us. So can we do something similar for oncology? Can we have certified patient navigators in the community, in the local languages, to go around and say, listen, you're postmenopausal and you're bleeding. It is not God telling you you're going to be fertile again. That is a warning sign.
Yes.
Let's get you. So somebody that they can confide in, if they know that, oh, there's this person here, someone we can teach. This is how you can help them with self-preservation. These are the things that you should look out for. And then we can help. So at least to educate and continue to educate and sound the alarm so that more men and women are aware of their bodies.
I think that's one thing we're doing at Cyril that I'm very proud of, which is in terms of community entry, we try to work with the stakeholders. So from the market women, the religious leader, because I would feel more comfortable when I see my pastor telling me to go for a screening than you that I probably have never seen before and I probably will never see you again. So if you can work with the stakeholders, one, you have a better return on investment. So I'm trying to, it has to be a mind shift in the foundation work. There has to be an ROI. As much as we are giving the money we are investing, we have to ensure that when we leave the community, there is that impact. And it's not just for the pictures and the videos, and we have to ensure that we're actually tackling the problem and also have a recall system. So for clinical breast examination, mammogram, take any activity. So when we go to communities, we have to be able to call them back to get screened again. So because you're negative or you clear this year, doesn't mean you will clear the next year. And in terms of treatment, I know for a fact, because that's the goal of both anti-specialist hospitals, and it's with an S deliberately, because our goal is to have comprehensive cancer center cut across all the states in Nigeria. And I'm very open that in the next couple of months we will be in Ocean State and we'll be able to bridge, that problem. We'll be able to ensure that there is a complete chain of patient from chemotherapy to counseling to even post-care as well as life after cancer treatment.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question. I'm sure because how does life play active cancer treatment? How's it been?
So right now, to be honest with you, life is beautiful. And what do I mean by that? I'm an empty nester. My kids are in college. So I don't have kids that I have to take to school in the morning. Nobody to care for. So I actually have the time of my life to pursue purpose. So I was able to pack my bags and come to Nigeria. Hey! So, doing motherhood early, I think kind of helped deal with that. So for that, I'm grateful. Okay, yes. Life post cancer is still life. That's the thing. I tell people, see, if people with high blood pressure do not allow high blood pressure to determine how they live their life, I don't think those living with cancer should determine how you live your life.
What about the fear of reoccurrence? Because that's one thing
I'm dealing with it right now.
That's one thing most people really panic about. I saw a video online. Because of any small thing, any pose.
Yeah.
Well, I felt that
I know.
and
Yes.
sometimes that fear sort of prevents people from living life to.
So there will be fear of recurrence. There will even be survival guilt. People. So what does survival guilt mean? Maybe somebody had cancer the same time you had cancer. They didn't make it, they died. And you are still walking around. And people are looking at you like, what did you do different? And I've had people ask me that question. Again and again. Or people think, oh, I'm using something like, oh, your kiss is different. I'm like, no, 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 no. This is not about, yeah, I mean, hey, you can say that, but I'm just being deliberate about when I wake up every morning. Remember, I started when you said, who is talking? Gratitude. I love life. I choose to live. You know, choose this day what you want to do. And life and death is in the power of the tongue. So when I wake up every morning, I place a demand on life. I place a demand on life. There is no ifs, buts about it. I want to live. I was telling somebody the other day, look, 10 years from now, in the next 10 years, I have 2 graduations and 2 weddings to plan.
Oh. Speaking it into
I'm speaking it into existence. Like, I don't have time to sit down and hope. Are there dark days? Yes, there are. There are days where getting out of bed is hard. Yes, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it and do toxic positivity. No. Like this time, a month ago, I could barely stand up. Yeah, I could barely stand up. Or, you know, I had a limp. But again, I wake up every morning and I place a demand on life. And so I'll get up, I'll do my little exercise, I'll report to our exercise group, this is how many steps that I've done. Because exercise, they say, is medicine.
Yes.
Exercise apparently helps your stem cells, boosts your mood, makes you feel better. So I'll exercise. Exactly. So I'll exercise, I'll eat right, I'll take my meds, I'll rest, I'll go work. I'll have a semblance of normalcy. So if I continue to do that, I don't think cancer will have room to stay or fester, you know. So I'm helping my immune system, directly or indirectly, to fight. So to anyone that might have just recently received a diagnosis, or you are, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 20 down the line, cancer free, or you've been hit with a recurrence, I would say live your life. Live your life. People are dying from motor accidents. So what are we saying here? I mean, we could sit here and have an existential conversation about death, but that's not the reason. So let's just choose to live.
Small questions if I may change. Can you share with us the creative extension behind your answers mission?
Yes, so we're having again, part of the things that we're looking at is getting the younger generation to think about it. So we already know that the older generation, there's a lot of stigma and secrecy and I don't know what's we call it, misconceptions around breast cancer. So let's go to the youth and see what they think of the disease. And let's have them express it through art. And we've received over 25 submissions. And our judges have been invited. Judges, so there was a bit of like kinks here and there. Well, me and culpa. I didn't know that schools resumed much later. But we were able to go back and work with the schools and just give them extra time to submit an extensions. So the extension period is over now. The judges are going to judge, and then we'll now announce, the first batch of winners from each region. So we are looking at a virtual and physical. So the finalists will be offered a prize. So that will be an award ceremony and all that.
I look forward to getting to know you.
Yes, definitely.
So finally, when you think about the next generation of women and advocates, what legacy do you in terms of financial well-being? And what advice would you give to those who want to start something new?
So we're standing on the shoulders of those who came before us. Let them stand on us to reinvent the wheel. That'll be the first thing. I mean, yes, be innovative, but don't reinvent the wheel. Um, collaborate. Collaborate. Because at least until there's a paradigm shift in how we see and do things in Nigeria, I still strongly believe that collaboration and competition is the way to go. You know, in South Africa they have this concept of Ubuntu, like, I am because you are because I am. So, even in your brain, they say, I like the one I feel so. So, for those who want to come behind, look around. Look at people who are doing the work. Partner with them. Amplify their voices. That was my modus operandi. That's how I did it. I didn't try to walk, because if you walk alone, you would not walk out.
You'll be tired.
That tired will be tired.
Mm-hmm.
That discouraged will be discouraged to the power of discouraged.
Yes.
So those are the two key things that I would say. And for those who want to do impact, be ready for the highs and the lows.
Especially for the lows.
Especially for the lows. But you see, if you remember the reason why you got into the space, why you wanted to give back, you pick yourself up and you get back up and you give more. Yeah.
Thank you so very
You're
much.
welcome.
I've learned a lot of things. Being a servant leader, gratitude is the way to life. And thirdly, something you're able to say.
Collaboration, no competition. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so very
Thank
much
you for having me.
So can you force the active, sustainable, good work that will be doing for fans?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody, and we look forward to giving you a lot of feedbacks about our community project. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Glad we could do this.